Yo, what's going on, guys? It's JMass, and I'm back again with another dope New England adventure. So I've gotten a decent amount of requests over the last year, people giving me different abandoned places throughout New England to check out and explore and film. But by far the location I've gotten the most requests about is the Clinton Tunnel. I've gotten a good amount of comments and DMs of people urging me to go out and film the Clinton Tunnel. And don't get me wrong, I've been to the Clinton Tunnel dozens of times. It's one of my favorite abandoned places. I just never got around to filming it until today. We're officially at the Clinton Tunnel in the town of Clinton, Massachusetts. And I gotta tell you, this is a very iconic, classic abandoned structure. If you don't know, the Clinton Tunnel was built all the way back in 1903, and the reason for its creation was because of the nearby Wachusett Reservoir. The Wachusett Reservoir is actually the second largest body of water in Massachusetts, but at the time of its creation in 1897, the Wachusett Reservoir was the largest body of water in the state of Massachusetts, and it's actually the largest hand-dug reservoir in the world. It's a pretty damn big lake. But when the Wachusett Reservoir was flooded, all the railroad tracks and train tracks that were in the area basically got flooded with it. So they needed a new train track, and the Central Massachusetts Railroad eventually operated here in the Clinton Tunnel in 1903. As you can see directly behind me, there are actually remnants of the original trestle that went across. Right nearby is the Nashua River, and there was at one point viaduct and a track and a bridge that actually went across the Nashua River. It connected over here to the Clinton Tunnel, and while the viaduct and bridge are now gone, I believe the viaduct was demolished in 1975, the Clinton Tunnel still remains. Now, the Clinton Tunnel was officially abandoned in 1958 due to low ridership, but the tunnel is still in pretty good condition today, and I think we're going to go check it out. Again, this is one of my favorite abandoned locations, an iconic abandoned Massachusetts location. So we're going to get right into it. I'll give you guys more facts as we explore. But anyways, this is the Clinton Tunnel in Clinton, Massachusetts. And as always, I'm JMass. If you guys like exploring abandoned New England, urban exploration, sightseeing, all that stuff, don't forget to follow me at Instagram at JMassOfficial. That's at JMassOfficial. I'm always posting the stuff I'm doing there. And don't forget to subscribe to the JMass YouTube channel. Always doing this kind of stuff. But let's get right into it, the Clinton Tunnel. I'm excited. I'm just going to give you a brief little overview of what we're looking at here. So right over there is the Wachusett Reservoir. We're going to check that out a little bit later, but the Wachusett Reservoir is over there. And right here is the Nashua River. Now, at one point, there was actually a bridge that spanned the Nashua River right here, along with a viaduct. It spanned right over here. There was train tracking that led all the way to the Clinton Tunnel right here. Now, as I mentioned, the viaduct was demolished in 1975, but the tunnel itself was abandoned in 1958. Ridership actually began to decline all the way back in the 1930s. So despite this being built in 1903, it really didn't last very long. By the 1930s, ridership had really declined. And by 1958, this thing was completely abandoned. Now, the other thing you gotta know is this is a very long tunnel. It's actually 1,110 feet long. And it's completely made out of granite. And as we get a little further in, you'll notice some bare granite rock in the middle. But at the very start, there's actually concrete. I believe 228 feet of concrete until you get further in, and then it's just blasted rock, which you'll see eventually. But right off the bat, you can see that there's graffiti covering this entire thing, like everywhere. There's tons of graffiti. It's pretty damn cool, and I think a lot of the graffiti here is actually pretty nice looking. Some might disagree with that, but I do think a lot of the graffiti here is pretty interesting. So very soon we're going to be going inside of the Clinton Tunnel, an abandoned train tunnel here in Clinton, Massachusetts. I will tell you guys, it gets pretty damn dark in there. I did bring a flashlight today. Hopefully the flashlight will serve us well and you can see, the bare rock and some more graffiti and what it's like inside the tunnel. Again, it's a 1,110 foot tunnel, so it's going to be a bit of a walk, but I think it'll be a cool one. All right, guys, we are officially making our way inside of the Clinton Tunnel. Now, this is probably pretty obvious, but this is no longer an active railroad tunnel. Obviously, there's no tracks on the ground. It's completely abandoned. I believe the track was torn up a long time ago. But this thing has been abandoned since 1958. Trains have not run through it in decades, so this really poses no threat. But you can already see it's a super dark area. And there's also water trickling around everywhere. You can probably hear it. I don't know how well you can see it. But this is a very damp and moist tunnel. It's actually not raining today. It's a pretty clear day out, but despite that, there's water trickling everywhere. And every time I've ever come here, lots of water droplets. And actually the other side of the tunnel, which we're gonna get to eventually, is very damp. There's a bit of a swampy area down there. So as you'll see, we're still in the concrete section. It's 228 feet of concrete, and then past the concrete is just bare granite rock. And you'll see that it's completely blasted away. Oh shit, you can already see how damp it is. I'm stepping in a lot of mud and water. Luckily I brought boots. So another interesting thing about the Clinton Tunnel, one thing I've always found fascinating, is they say there's a bit of an optical illusion when you walk through this thing. They say that no matter how far into the tunnel you walk and how far you go, the back entrance down there looks the same. Basically what they're saying is, no matter how far into the tunnel you walk, it always looks like you're still far away from the end. And it really does show. It's kind of a weird optical illusion. Okay guys, we're leaving the concrete portion. We've officially walked 228 feet through the west portal, and we're now in the barren rock section. I really don't know how great the quality of this video is gonna be, because again, it is a very dark section of the tunnel, basically pitch black. I'm gonna try my best to show you guys, but the quality might be very grainy because of the darkness. It's also very eerily quiet in here. I'm the only one in the tunnel at the moment, which is pretty rare because this place is usually pretty packed with people, but right now I'm the only person in the tunnel. It's very quiet, not too much going on. Gives it a very eerie vibe. There are actually people who say the Clinton Tunnel's haunted, or that there's like supernatural and paranormal forces here. I can't really say I buy that, but to each their own. Pretty cool though. All right guys, right in the dead center of the Clinton Tunnel right now, you can actually see directly behind me, that's the entrance that we started from, the west portal of the Clinton Tunnel. I'm basically smack dab in the middle of the tunnel right now. It is pitch black. You can't see shit here, it's crazy. But we're just making our way over to the east portal. The other thing is because we're deep underground right now, well, I shouldn't say deep, but we are underground. It's a lot cooler in here than outside. You know, outside it's like a good 65 degrees. Right now it's actually pretty cool, probably mid 40s. So it's pretty cool. See my breath. It's just crazy compared to outside. The other funny thing about this tunnel is there's a lot of echoing here. Check this out. Yo, what's going on, guys? It's J-Mass. You hear that? Yo, it's J-Mass. Yeah, so it echoes. It's pretty cool. Continuing to make our way through the abandoned tunnel. And you can see even here in the middle, there's still lots of graffiti, lots of people tagging this place, all on the bare rock. It's pretty cool though. Luckily the ground is a lot better over here. It's just straight up dirt. But over towards the entrance, there was a lot of mud and water. You can also see we're getting closer to the other end right now. We're about to approach the 1,110 foot mark. And it's a nice little walk, you know, nothing too crazy. Give you some more views of the top. So as I mentioned, this was dug all the way back in 1903. This thing is well over 100 years old, and at one point serviced many trains from the Central Massachusetts Railroad. I believe this connected Clinton and Boston. Mostly handled passenger freight, though as I mentioned, passenger freight did decline throughout the 1930s. And by 1958, it was officially abandoned. All right, guys, we've officially made it to the other end, the east portal. Now you can see this is the notoriously very muddy and swampy part of the tunnel. Every single time I've ever come here, there's always been a giant pool of water here. It's very swampy, so make sure you bring boots if you come here. You're gonna do a lot of rock hopping. So one thing I haven't mentioned yet that's still pretty interesting, obviously this thing's been abandoned for decades, but it sounds like the state of Massachusetts is actually going to start doing something with this tunnel. They're actually going to be building a rail trail here. I could be wrong, but I believe it's called the Central Massachusetts Rail Trail. Sounds like it'll be stemming from Northampton, Massachusetts, all the way to Boston. And part of that rail trail is going to be coming through the Clinton Tunnel right here. So at some point, you'll be able to walk through this as an official rail trail. So it'll probably be a lot better and easier to go through. So I'm actually kind of excited about that. You know, it'll be a new use for the Clinton Tunnel. Now this is the other end over here. You'll see that there's also a bridge over there, which we'll go check out really quick. That bridge actually has a road on it though, so it's not an abandoned bridge. You know, cars still go over that thing. But yeah, let's check it out. All right, guys, I just made my way over to this bridge, and apparently the name of the road that goes over this bridge is Clamshell Road. Pretty cool name. But I just want to show you really briefly what this bridge looks like. There's also a lot of graffiti here too. Some of it looks pretty fresh, actually. Pretty cool bridge. Nothing too special, just a cool little bridge. And right over there, you'll see the east portal of the Clinton Tunnel. You can actually see there's some people in there. I just met up with some people really briefly who were checking out the tunnel as well. But getting over to this bridge was an absolute pain in the ass. You can probably tell, but this place is super muddy. I mean, lots of mud, water, dirt. Like getting over here was basically just trudging through all this mud. So if you want to come over to this bridge right here under Clamshell Road, definitely be prepared with some waterproof boots. It is pretty messy and muddy over here. But it's pretty dope, and it gives you a cool view of the other side of the Clinton Tunnel, the east portal, which is the harder to access portion. The last thing I want to show you guys, I don't even know what this is, like a refrigerator, I think. There's some random ass machine right here. I think it's a refrigerator. I don't even know, it's weird as fuck. But I kind of like how this is like, you know, in the middle of a gorge. I assume this was all, you know, blasted to make way for the railroad track that would, you know, snake its way down here through the forest. Also, another interesting thing you might not know, there's actually a ton of suburban neighborhoods up here. So it's not like we're in the middle of nowhere in the forest. Actually, right above the Clinton Tunnel, you can't see it from here, but right above the Clinton Tunnel are a bunch of houses and neighborhoods. So there's a very well-established suburban town right above the Clinton Tunnel. And I can only imagine how interesting that must be, living on top of an abandoned train tunnel. Kind of cool. So we're gonna make our way back shortly. Just wanted to show you guys this side. I'm gonna finish off at the Clinton Tunnel, and then I think we're gonna make our way over to the Wachusett Reservoir, the second largest body of water in the state of Massachusetts, and at one point the largest body of water and the largest hand-dug dam in the world, built all the way back in 1897. It's gonna be pretty dope. Although I have to wade my way through all this shit, so wish me luck. All right, guys, we're going to be making our way back through the Clinton Tunnel, this time from the east portal right here, all the way over to the west portal. So we got another 1,110-foot long walk to go on. But really quick, I do want to direct your attention right here. As I said, at the other side, the west portal, there's a 228-foot lining of concrete on the roof. On this end, it's very short for some reason, and I don't know why, but there's way less concrete this time. You can actually see the barren granite rock over there. Kind of weird. I don't know what the purpose of that is. But take one last look over here. Now let's go through the Clinton Tunnel all the way back to the other side. Pretty cool place though. As I mentioned, they are going to be building a rail trail here, I believe called the Central Massachusetts Rail Trail. So this tunnel won't be abandoned for much longer. So definitely check it out soon, but I do think that's going to be a net positive for this place. It'll allow more people to explore this tunnel safely and also more comfortably. You can also get a better view of all of the rock on this side because, you know, closer to the light right here. Pretty damn cool. Look at that. You know what this really reminds me of? Reminds me of a much more tame version of the Wachusett Tunnel out in Western Mass. You know what I mean? Obviously, that one's an active railroad, super dangerous. This is a lot smaller, of course, but still kind of has that same feel, you know what I mean? Pretty damn cool, though. And again, decent amount of graffiti on the sides. I would be very interested to see what they do if this does become a public rail trail. I'd be curious if they install lights in here, you know what I mean? Or if they're gonna stop all of the rain and water that seeps through. I'd be curious to see what they do. And I am looking forward to it. All right, guys, I'm gonna make my way through. I'll catch you on the other end of the Clinton Tunnel, and then we'll go see the Wachusett Reservoir. Pretty dope place. All right, we're back again in the center of the tunnel. And I just want to harken back to what I said earlier about that famous optical illusion here. They say that the deeper you go into the tunnel, the farther away the other end looks. And I can really see it right now because I'm literally in the middle of the tunnel, making my way over, and the light at the end looks exactly the same distance as when I started. It's kind of creepy, actually. I really do wonder what creates that optical illusion. I don't know how well that translates over to film, but if you guys see that too, definitely let me know in the comments. I'd be interested if you get the same effect as well. And of course, because of the echo and because I'm a child, I want to do one more really loud comment. Yo, what's going on, guys? It's J-Mass, and welcome back to another New England adventure. Oh, I love that. I love echoes. All right, meet you on the other side. All right, guys, we're slowly starting to emerge from the dark depths of the tunnel. We're about to get onto the other end of the entrance, but that was pretty cool. The Clinton Tunnel, created back in 1903, abandoned in 1958. Again, this was founded to make way for the Wachusett Reservoir, which was constructed in 1897. The viaduct that once connected this bridge across the Nashua River was demolished in 1975, but luckily the tunnel itself remained. And we get to see it today. Pretty cool. Sort of serves as a art gallery for graffiti artists now, which is kind of cool. Oh, also, I almost forgot. Really quick, I'm going to go to the top of the tunnel, which you can actually do. Just show you what it's like up there. Then we're going to go check out the Wachusett Reservoir. But I hope you guys thought that was cool. The Clinton Tunnel here in Clinton, Massachusetts. It's a New England classic. All right, let's go check out the other stuff. There's actually a little trail right here on the side of the tunnel that you can take. Brings you right up to the top. Not too much up here, just a cool little, you know, unique perspective of the area. You can see right there, that's the bottom where we just came out. Pretty dope. All right, let's make our way up here. Here we are, the top of the Clinton Tunnel. Just right ahead of us is what I believe is Boylston Street right there. Wachusett Reservoir over there. Nashua River right along here. Pretty cool area. You can almost imagine what it must have looked like in its heyday when there was a bridge that spanned across the river. You can kind of see actually remnants of the bridge too. I'll show you as we get closer. I don't know if you can see it from here, but there are actually remnants of the bridge right over there. Pretty dope. Check that out, guys. All right, guys, we made it. The Wachusett Reservoir, as you can see right here. Genuinely a very beautiful and gorgeous place. This is actually one of my favorite places to go during sunset. I might not be able to catch it today because it's kind of cloudy out, but this is a really good spot to get sunset photos. It's amazing here. And very briefly, we're going to check out the Wachusett Dam, which is actually right here. There's a huge valley over there, you know, completely empty. And this dam protects all of the water over here. The Wachusett Reservoir. Again, genuinely gorgeous, beautiful area. But yeah, let's go down and check out the Wachusett Dam. And then I'll show you remnants of the bridge that used to connect the railroad tracks all the way to the Clinton Tunnel. All right, just making my way down these stairs really quick. But you can actually see the remnants all the way over here. So right over there is a portion of the Nashua River. Check that out. if you can see those pieces of stone right there, those are actually remnants of the former bridge and viaduct that spanned across. And you can almost imagine at one point there was a bridge, you know, stretching over that with railroad tracks and trains going over pretty frequently, carrying passengers to and from Clinton and Boston. And right over there on that side is the Clinton Tunnel where we just were. So this bridge that was once here connected to the Clinton Tunnel. And right over here, the Wachusett Dam. And I gotta say, damn, pretty big place. So yeah, this whole reservoir began construction in 1897. I believe this dam was finished in 1906. And the viaduct in the Clinton Tunnel was completed in 1903. So all this was late 1800s, early 1900s. Although, as I mentioned, ridership began to decline in the 1930s, and in 1958, the tunnel was officially abandoned. And that bridge was closed in 1975, or I should say demolished. Hey, thank you guys again for joining me. I've been J-Mass as always, and this has been another dope New England adventure. So today we checked out the classic, iconic Massachusetts abandoned structure, the Clinton Tunnel. Officially abandoned all the way back in 1958, but it opened up for operation in 1903. Really cool spot. It was really fun taking you guys through and exploring from the west portal to the east portal. And of course, I mean, the Wachusett Reservoir itself, absolutely gorgeous, stunning beauty here. I love coming here for sunset views. I wish I could show you today, but it's kind of cloudy. But this is a really scenic area. I mean, even over here too, look at that. My God, that's beautiful. You know what I mean? I love it. But yeah, guys, thanks for joining me. The Clinton Train Tunnel in Clinton, Massachusetts, and a little bit of the reservoir itself. I've been J-Mass as always. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at JMassOfficial. That's at JMassOfficial. If you like seeing urban exploration and, you know, traveling and sightseeing, I'm always posting there. And of course, I'm always posting videos related to that stuff here on the J-Mass YouTube channel. But again, thanks for joining me on this abandoned railroad tunnel exploration. I've been J-Mass, the Clinton Train Tunnel, the Wachusett Reservoir, and the Wachusett Dam. And, you know, I'm kind of thinking to myself, you know what I haven't done in years? I haven't frolicked. When was the last time you guys frolicked? I haven't done that since I was a kid. You got a huge hill right here, just begging to be rolled down. I got to do it, man. I got to do it. See you guys later. Oh.